Oscar here for Notagrouch, notagrouch.com, and this is video number 3 about building a PTA website. And I get it, some of you send me a couple messages saying, hey, you actually haven't shown us how to build a website. And I say, well, yeah, I know, but I'm talking about the process of building it so far, because if you're going to do what I'm doing, there's a lot of things that you should think about. And if you're first time doing it, or maybe you build 1 or 2 websites, I think I have some experience to share with you. So, the website is, all the skeleton is already built. In fact, I'm going to overlay some of that as I'm speaking with you, so that you get to see a little bit. Nobody else has seen this. It's not public. In fact, if you go to it, you're going to see just a splash page that says something like, something cool is coming soon, or something like that. So, for the time being, it's not public, but I'm going to show you. So, what theme am I using? I am using Magazine Pro from StudioPress. StudioPress recently was acquired by WP Engine, so I'll have links down. In fact, I'm going to make a blog post out of this with all the links, because otherwise it's just going to be a whole mess of links with no explanation. So the blog post will have a lot more information. Go check it out. And I'm probably going to make a blog post for the previous 2 videos as well. And I might turn it into a whole series. So, I'm using Magazine Pro from Genesis, or it's a Genesis-based theme put out by StudioPress. It's one of the best themes out there. It's super popular. It's very flexible. It allows you to do very minimalistic or a very complex website, depending on what you need. And it has all the great stuff, all the support from StudioPress and the community. So it's really, really great. For the colors, I simply took the official logo of the school website and I took out the 3 colors, which looks like it's a special red, light gray, and one that almost looks like black, but it's not. It has a little bit of a blue tone, so we did that. And so those are the 3 colors I'm working with. Although I may use Adobe Cooler, I think it's called, or they renamed it recently, I forgot what it's called, which shows me complementary colors and stuff like that, so I can pick the right color palette. You can use that as well. It's down in the links. It's free, just have to have an account. So, the first thing I did was I created a banner for the magazine theme. So, I took the logo of the website, again, I took it to Photoshop, and then I made it the size that Genesis told me that it requires. I believe it was 760 by 180. And that gives it a nice wide and not too tall size, so that it's visible on the desktop is really nice, and also on the phone it takes up the whole width of the screen, which is really nice. And all I did was put in the name of the school and then Parent-Teacher Association. Pretty simple. Photoshop will do it. If you don't have Photoshop, you can do it with Canva or whatever app you want to use for your images. That's not a big deal. The only issue was, and this is something that happens with Genesis themes quite a bit, and I don't make a big deal about it because there's ways to fix it, but the image size that it asks for is not the image size that it displays. Instead, it displays a little tiny logo at the top that's smaller. So I just had to go in and put 1 line of code into the CSS file, and that was fixed. So if you have that, I'll link it down below. I'll put a little description down below. Besides that, I am using the content and 1 sidebar layout. That allows me to keep mostly a mobile-friendly website, but also have some content for desktop users. Most of the parents are mobile-only users. I've spoken to a lot of parents, and many of the families and parents don't even use a computer on a regular basis or at all. So they completely rely on phones and tablets. So I have to make sure that the website works well on a mobile device. And Genesis, StudioPress, all of their themes are mobile friendly from the get-go. So, but that means that I can't use, for example, the content and two sidebars layout, or two sidebar, or sidebar content sidebar, because then a lot of the stuff that I think is prominent, visible to what I'm looking at when I'm developing it, is actually going to be bumped down all the way for mobile users, and they may not see it. So we can't really rely on that as much as we would, say, 5-10 years ago. For the events, I am using my go-to event plugin, which is called the Events Calendar, and I believe is put out by Tribe, or I forgot the actual name of the company, but is Tribe something. And they have two versions. They have the free version and the pro version, of course. The pro version is a little bit pricey. I want to say it's $99. But we're going to use the free version until we find an actual need to go pro. Now, you could use the pro version to have, for example, event tickets sold on the spot, or you can split revenue. Say, for example, if the venue is charging you a fee and you're trying to collect part of the fee for yourself or for the PTA in this case, then you could do a split share of that. There's a lot of really fancy options with the pro version. It also has WooCommerce support, which is interesting. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but for the time being, we're going to use free WooCommerce to run any sales for anything that we need, whether it's a ticket to an event, or the donations for just fundraising, or the membership for the PTA website. And we're going to just have links go from the events to whatever is necessary at the time. So that's it for now. If you have any questions, please let me know. I will give you the next step on the next video, which will probably be a little bit more hands-on, showing you how to move things around and how I place things. And I'm going to start adding content. I've been collecting content from some of the key people involved, like the secretary and the VP, and also the president. So all those will go in there, because here's one key that you need to have a successful website and a successful launch. If you don't do this, chances are you're going to fall flat on your face for a number of reasons. But here it is. When you reveal your website to the powers that be, say, for example, the PTA, maybe you're going to go to a meeting and say, hey, we're going to unveil the website. The worst thing you can do is to show a website that is empty or has placeholders like lip-sim text or placeholder images, because people cannot visualize potential. People have to see what it means to have certain stuff there, and that is what allows people to imagine how great it could be later. But for the most part, if I came to the meeting and say, hey, this is it, this is really cool, look, the menus are here. Oh, right now they don't work if you click on it, but that's where they're gonna go. Oh, we're gonna have downloads over here. We don't have anything there yet, but we're gonna have the downloads here. This will be our blog section, so we can post blogs and stuff like that. That is just going to fail, because people cannot imagine what could go there. You and I can, because this is what we do. So if this was a meeting between designers or developers, perfectly fine. But the moment you're going to show it to stakeholders, end users, or content creators, it needs to have actual content. I'm working my butt off to get videos, articles, downloads, and hopefully I can have the connection to the payment system so people can actually start registering for the PTA and registering to add fundraising opportunities. And we have some events that are real events coming up, not just placeholders, not just imaginary stuff, but actual events. So we're gonna do that, and I will be showing you some of that next time. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye.